don't know who this is for, but, I was sitting here thinking about things that happened yesterday while I was out, and I was thinking about it this morning and how it probably ties into what somebody else is dealing with. But whether or not you believe that there is a God or that there is demonic spirits that roam the earth that cause problems for you, regardless if you believe between a heaven and a hell, I've had my own personal experiences to tell you that I believe that there is a heaven and a hell. And the reason why I bring this up is that it says many are called but few are chosen. And throughout my entire life, I have had to press forward and press on with difficult matters in life most of my life. And I thought to myself, is there a purpose to what I am pushing through? Is there a purpose for what I am going through? Is there a positive, futuristic purpose that I will see later on that will make sense of why what happened happens? And for a lot of years, I thought, well, maybe this futuristic occurrence that is going to happen, I won't even say that. I was getting ready to say something, but I don't want to speak it into existence. But basically, I doubted the futuristic event happening that was going to allow me to have clarity and understanding on why I went through what I did, and that it had a purpose. It had a positive purpose. It was not just meaningless. And what I've noticed since I've moved to a new place is that, the kinds of people that are in this area and the state that I've moved to, they are very abrupt. They are very disrespectful. They are very aggressive and angry and rude, and just some of them are vile. I'm not saying all of them are, but I've noticed that kind of feeling from the environment that I'm in. This place is just a very busy, angry, aggressive type energy people carry around here. And in regards to enduring that for about 3 years, it has made me look at things from the perspective of knowing when to be quiet, knowing when to just not speak, knowing when to hold back, because the kinds of people that I encounter, it's like they're just over the top. It's like just this overabundance of angry, aggressive behavior. And I'm not a docile person. I'm pretty outspoken. But it has caused me to be more introverted in the way that I'm just not going to engage with that angry, aggressive, ridiculous behavior. And the point that I'm getting at is, where I used to live 3 years prior, I'm sure there were some unpleasant people. I can't think of one ridiculous occurrence at the moment, but things were a lot slower, in my opinion. People were a lot more chilled out. They weren't overly aggressive. Just the environment was healthier. These people here, it's like some of them need to be put on medication because they're just over the top. I don't mean everybody, but that's just the overall energy that this place embodies. And I don't like it because it's like this 1950s, Hitler type energy where it's like people are just trying to lord over you and control everything and just overly aggressive, and it's repulsive to me enduring that energy here. But the point is that I was used to being in an energy and an environment where things were slower paced, people were more mellowed out. It wasn't this 1950s, Hitler way, trying to be overly aggressive with people. So I went from experiencing one type of environment and energy to experiencing the complete opposite. And the point is that if you are called to do something in this world that is unique and something specifically that God wants you to do in order to make a big difference in the world, He will put you in a very difficult environment, around very difficult people, around very difficult circumstances. It's like someone who goes from living a civilian life to being ripped out of their home and placed in basic training, and they push you to your limits and even beyond your limits. That's what He will do. If you have a calling on your life that you are supposed to fulfill, He will stick you in an environment that is going to push you beyond your limits, that is going to be the most difficult experience you've had, around the most difficult people you've ever had to be around, and to experience this experience and to go through things that is going to toughen you. It's going to push you, it's going to toughen you, and you're going to feel like it is trying to break you. And the point is that I'm trying to get at, I'm a very different person than most people are. And when a demonic spirit, whenever you come into this environment where you're dealing with difficulties in your life, dealing with people, just the energy, the overall energy itself within people, you're just dealing with a difficult period of life. It's almost like as if you're in basic training for however long God thinks you need to be there in order to give you the tools and the knowledge and the strength that you're going to need for where you're going. You're going to experience different people embodying the same kind of demonic spirit. And what I mean by that is, let's say that you have a problem with experiencing people who you have dealt with rejection your whole life. Let's just say that, because I have dealt with rejection my whole life. And I've learned to not let it get to me as much. And I've learned to toughen up and just disregard people who are that way. But what I'm getting at is, let's say that you are dealing with a repetitive rejection from different people. And I'll give you an example because this is what I've dealt with my whole life. I get around people, and for one, most people can't understand me, period, because of who I am is just very different. I carry a very different energy. I carry a very different outlook on life. I embody someone who is complete opposite to what these people are used to, or just people in general. Everywhere I've gone, I embody someone who people do not understand. And people do not know this, but they are influenced by an evil spirit to oppress you. Because the closer you are to getting to where you are going to go to your destination, where God is going to send you in order to make the difference. So what I mean is, once you're out of this basic training, once you're out of this place where He has given you the tools you're going to need in order to go where you're supposed to go, and it's getting closer to the time that you are getting ready to go where it is that He's going to send you, you will see people behaving in a similar way. And I don't mean everybody, but you'll see multiple people behaving in a similar way. Like if you have interactions, and for example of me, like just people I've had different interactions with between working with them or going to them for a service or whatever the case is, regardless of how I ended up interacting with them. They embody the same kind of demonic spirit that tries to oppress me. And what I mean by that is, people have been getting really short-tempered with me. They have been getting to where they just disregard my presence. And what I mean by that is, they'll speak over me, or they will just come over with this energy where it's all about them and try to minimize my presence or what I'm saying or whatever the case is. I'm trying to give you an example. I mean, unless you have, a personal experience with it, I'm basically trying to say is that they are influenced by this same spirit to try and make me feel some type of way about myself, to get me to doubt myself, to get me to feel bad about myself, to get me to feel shame, to get me to feel inferiority. This oppressive type of spirit will jump from one person to the other so that you have an overabundance experience with whatever you have struggled in with spiritually. It will influence people to embody the words, the actions, or the energy of that very thing that you have struggled with, that you happen to be maybe weak in, or maybe that's just a button that is sensitive to you specifically. But as you're getting closer to the place you're supposed to go and doing the things that you're supposed to do in order to make a difference in the world that God has called you to do, you'll see people acting the same way or embodying the same kind of energy in order to get you to doubt yourself, in order to get you to quit, in order to get you to break down and allow people to make you feel some type of way about yourself, to make you think some type of way about yourself, to make you want to give up so that you don't get the reward and you don't get the opportunity that God has for you to do what it is you're supposed to do in this world, that is going to give you a greater reward if you would have just figured out this cycle between the people that you're having occurrences with. Maybe they don't understand you because you're just not like everybody else. Maybe they are just low vibrational and they get annoyed because you don't want to be on some low vibration doing low vibrational things. I don't know what your specific situation is, but I've just dealt with people. Maybe they just, they like to be a certain way. They like to do certain things. They like to think certain things. And I'm just not on that level. I'm trying to focus on my future. I'm trying to focus on what is going to gain me knowledge, what is going to gain me purpose in life, what is going to gain me things, not subtract from me. And I don't want to engage with people who are very surface level, who they're fake. They're either fake or they're just low vibrational. And I'm not going to try to change anybody, but I'm not here to make everybody feel good about themselves. And when you are on a mission, so to sense, and you are, like I was saying, it's like you're in basic training and you're dealing with all these things coming at you, and it's to toughen you. It is to build you into the person you've got to become in order to go where it is God is trying to send you and to do what God is trying to get you to do. And people, it's like they will internally feel a sense of rejection. They will feel a certain type of way because of the energy you're giving off makes them insecure. And I don't mean that you're purposely making them feel any kind of way, because nobody can make you feel anything. It's up to you how you feel. But what I'm saying is the energy that you are embodying, the person that you are embodying, will trigger them. That's a better way to say it. It will trigger them, and they will allow themselves to feel a certain type of way, and they will get short-tempered with you. They will say things to cut you down, whether it's purposely or not. They will try to go against you for no particular reason. People will be a hindrance to you in some kind of way, whether it is by them trying to cut into your self-worth, by them trying to eat up your time and try to dumb you down or try to bring you down, whether it is to attack you for no particular reason. It's because of how they internally feel about themselves, and you are bringing it out of them because of who you embody, the person that you're embodying, the energy that you're embodying. And it makes them uncomfortable. And I get tired of it because I've just experienced people. It's like you can be however you'd like to be. If you want to keep doing the same stupid things, if you want to continue to be the same low vibrational way, you want to continue to be fake and continue to be surface level. I'm not saying this particularly to any person. I'm just saying in my mind, this is what I'm thinking. I'm like, you can be whoever you'd like to be, but take your energy on somewhere else, because I'm not dealing with it. And so what I mean is, certain demonic spirits will influence these people to say things and to get them to do things that will try and reinforce this doubt within yourself, this insecurity within yourself, this this feeling within yourself that says there's something wrong with you when there's not. There is something wrong with the person in front of you who is allowing an evil spirit to influence them to say and do things that is trying to cut you down so that you don't go where God is trying to send you. You don't do what God is trying to get you to do in order to make the world a better place and to fulfill your purpose that you were put on this earth to do. The devil knows that there is a purpose on everyone's life, but he will send people to try to distract you, to get you to feel a certain type of way about yourself and create a belief system that is inaccurate of how you should believe about yourself. he works full time to work against what God is trying to do. So God is trying to prepare you. He's trying to strengthen you. He's trying to give you the tools in order to get you to where he wants you to go, because sometimes we're not always equipped to do and go somewhere that he has for us until we go through this basic training period and we have passed the tests that he expects us to pass in order to go and be successful where we are going to go and what we are going to do. Sometimes we are unprepared and we don't even know that we're unprepared. So he'll have you go to a difficult place, deal with difficult people, deal with difficult situations, and it will strengthen you and toughen you, even though it may hurt, it may feel like it's breaking you. It is to expand you, to get you to become the person you're supposed to become, so that you are prepared, so that you are going to be successful in doing and going where you are supposed to go. If he sends you somewhere to do something and you don't have that tough skin, you don't have that basic training under your belt, you don't have the tools that he knows you're going to need where you're going, you're going to fail and you're going to fall on your face. So he will send you through situations that feel like, maybe it feels like it's almost going to break you. Maybe it feels like, it's miserable. It's not a pleasant experience, I can promise you that. But on top of that, the devil will specifically send people your way to give you a hard time, to make you believe that you are not worthy, to make you think that there is something wrong with you because the way people are treating you. And how people treat you is their own problem. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be mindful how you treat other people, because, how you treat other people could be a direct reflection of how you're treating them and the energy you're giving off. But if you're not doing anything and you're not acting in some kind of way that would get you a negative response, there's something wrong with other people. Because I've had where other people act like, there must be something wrong with me. Well, and I'll give you an example. At one point I weighed 200 pounds. And I had a thyroid disease called Graves' disease, and I had to destroy my thyroid and get on a medication that I have to be on for the rest of my life in order to replace that hormone. But this was the only way that I could get healthy. And so I used to eat crap. I used to eat junk. I used to eat crap. I used to think a certain way about myself. I did not take care of myself. I did not love myself. I had to change myself. And most people don't know what I had to go through in order to become healthy, in order to gain self-control, in order to be someone different. It took a lot of work, for one, and I'm trying to find the other word, but a lot of self-control. That's what I'm looking for. Because we're constantly having people try to influence us, such as McDonald's and all these other places, to go buy their crap. And it's not just food, it's things too. But I had to become someone different in order to love myself, in order to be healthy again. So I used to be 200 pounds. I used to eat like crap. I used to feel like crap about myself. And then I had to completely change that. And I had to completely become someone brand new. And most people, they want to continue to be the way that they are, and they hate it when someone is around them that makes them feel like there is something wrong with the way that they are. What I mean by that is, it's not that you're purposely doing anything to make them feel that way, but it's who you are. triggers them to feel that way. So I've been around a lot of people who wanted to continue to be unhealthy, who wanted to continue to eat like crap, who really, you could tell they didn't love themselves by the way they ate, by the way they took care of themselves, by the way that they lived. And that's their business. But people want you to agree with them. They want you to make them feel validated by their choices and the way that they are and the way that they think and the things that they do. And I don't do that. I don't coddle people. I don't sit here and condone bad behavior. I'm not rude. I'm not mean. But I will share knowledge about the health that I've had to take with my own journey, just the health issues that I've had, the way I've had to eat. And when you are resistant to people, and let's put it this way, you are completely different from everybody else around you, and they can feel that energy. They know that you're different. They know that you embody a different energy. It's like you have everybody around you wanting to attack you for the better version of yourself that you want to become, because they don't get it. And that makes them feel insecure about themselves. That makes them feel like there's something wrong with them. So in return, they want to get short-tempered with you. They want to treat you some type of way. They want to speak to you some kind of way in order to shame you for being the better person, for doing what is hard to do, because really they can't do it. It's not that they can't do it, it's that they won't do it. They won't put in the work that it would take in order to become a better version of themselves. And anytime that you are around people and you are trying to be a better version of yourself, and you are outspoken that you are different than everybody else, they will attack you for doing that. They will attack you for being someone different. They will be very short with you, be disrespectful, say and do things that will try and cut you down, because really they feel bad about themselves, so they want to try to make you feel a certain type of way about yourself, as if there's something wrong with being a better version of yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. There's something wrong with them for being that way. And so I've noticed in different places that I've gone that people embody this same evil spirit that wants to try and get me to feel a certain type of way about myself, and surround me with people who do not want to become a better version of themselves, who do not want to work on themselves, who do not want to be someone different. They just want someone to coddle them and make them feel good about being a version of their self that really it needs to go. It needs to die off. It needs to be thrown away, and they need to embrace being a better version of themselves and putting in the hard work it's going to take in order to becoming that person. But the energy that you embody and who you, the words that you speak, the actions you take, etc., will end up making people feel insecure, because your energy and the words you speak and the actions you're taking makes themselves feel insecure. So basically what I'm trying to get at is, anytime that you have some kind of calling on your life, you will be surrounded by an environment and people who will purposely try and cut you down, try and make you doubt yourself, try and oppress you and subject you to some kind of treatment in order, the end goal is to get you to give up on your calling, to give up on your life's purpose, to make you feel a certain way so that you internalize it and you create this false belief system that says, well, I'm not good enough, or I'm not this. You are good enough. You're plenty good enough. There is nothing wrong with you. I'm not meaning you're grandiose, but I mean people will go out of their way to try to make you feel insecure, make you feel a certain type of way about yourself, make you believe certain things. And they have the audacity to do that. But if it was dished out to them, some of those people couldn't handle it. And so God will allow these people to be influenced by this spirit that is trying to oppress you, that is trying to get you to give up, however that spirit is being used. So if you see a repetitive pattern of people trying to put you down, people trying to make you feel bad about yourself, people trying to get you to give up in some kind of way, if you see an ongoing pattern where this is taking place on and on and on, that's an evil spirit that is trying to get in the way of God's calling for your life. And its end goal is to get you to settle for a mediocre life, a mediocre existence where everybody else is miserable, and settles for peanuts in life. And God, it says that the devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. But I came that they have life and that they have it abundantly. But I've seen a lot of people settle for mediocrity. And though I speak for myself as that, I'm not living in Beverly Hills, California, and, own a Gucci purse, which I could care less about that. But I know that my purpose in life is not for mediocrity. I cannot settle for a mediocre life. I may not be where I want to be or where I should be right this moment, but there is a reason for why I am where I am right now. And I will eventually get to where I am supposed to be and supposed to do. I will get there. I am not going to settle for mediocrity like everybody else and say, woe is me, and, make excuses and not do what I'm supposed to do in order to get to the purpose of my life and the calling that I have on my life. And I'm not going to allow other people to change some belief system that as if there is something wrong with me because they just don't understand me. And I don't mean that in a stuck-up way, but I get tired of people who, just because you don't understand somebody, just because you don't share their belief system, that you automatically want to try to make people feel as if they ought to be some other way. They ought to be someone else. They ought to be what you would prefer. I don't think so. And I don't like people like that. That it's like, I'll give an example. I took my mom somewhere to get her some assistance for her health. And I'm sitting there, and somebody who worked at this facility, made a comment. And I'm not going to say that the comment that they made about a particular subject was right. But I mean, it didn't anger me. It's just, some people, they're just, they're not politically correct, and it just is what it is. But this person made the comment, and I really truly don't believe that the comment that they made, they didn't say any cuss word, they didn't, slander anybody. Just the way that they said it was not necessarily politically correct. It is what it is. We live in a society where people aren't that bright. But it wasn't meant in some vile, nasty, hateful way. Then somebody behind me, they're like, that's not what you say. That is not how you say it. That is not how you would say it. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, that's not how I would say it either. And I'm thinking this in my head, no, I probably wouldn't have said it that way either. But you know what? She didn't mean any harm by it. I really don't think she did. Again, it wasn't like she said something real vile where, you could tell that it was hateful. She wasn't being hateful. She was just being ignorant. And the lady behind me just took it upon herself to just go on and on about it, how, this other woman should have said it politically correct. And I'm like, get the hell over yourself. Linda, Karen, whoever the hell you are, enough is enough. I mean, that's what I'm talking about, is that people will go out of their way to make you feel a certain way and try to make you feel as if you should be on their same belief system, their same way of living, their same way of being. Well, I'm not you, and everybody else is not you. And I don't care for people trying to shove their opinions and their way of living and their way of being on you and trying to project this narcissistic preference on you to make you feel as if you should say how they say things, you should do how they do things, you should live like them. I don't want to be everybody else. I don't want to live like everybody else. I don't want to think like everybody else, because if I did, that would be a huge failure on my part. I would be failing myself to give in to that. But a lot of people are ignorant and they just want people to make them feel good. We shouldn't be hateful to people. But if you see a trend where you feel like, you really reflect on it, and the things that are happening, it's just like an extra thing to make you feel a certain type of way, to get you to either react in such a way that you shouldn't react, that is going to steal your energy and time, and it's just going to drain you, or it's going to bring you down, or it's going to make you feel or think a certain way about yourself, or get you to do something that is destructive. Basically, it's to get you to be destructive with yourself. So if you notice a trend of people saying or doing things, and it is causing you to start believing certain things about yourself, to start doing certain things that are not healthy, that are not helping you out, that are not bringing you to a higher version of yourself, it's time to put them to rest. Get away from whoever you can get away from, but do not allow this evil spirit that is trying to oppress you to get you to distract yourself from the purpose that you were sent here to fulfill. Do not allow that evil spirit to destroy the calling on your life that God has for you, that is going to give you a lot of success, a lot of reward. And though it's painful to go through this basic training, as I was talking about, it is going to send you and elevate you to a place that you never thought would be possible. But if you allow people who are low vibrational, who are ignorant, who are mean, who allow these evil spirits to influence them to say and do things to you in order to get you to quit, in order to get you in a depression, or get you oppressed, or to get you to just settle for some mediocre existence, put that to rest and understand that it is an evil attack against you, and that some people are just ignorant and they will continue to allow themselves to be used in a negative way, and that you are going to go somewhere someday to do something so great that is going to make a huge difference in the world, while they continue to be the same nasty, vile way they are by letting an evil spirit ignorantly use them. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with the way that you're being. If you're being a positive person, if you're being someone who is self-disciplined, if you're improving yourself and other people can't understand you because of how you speak, because of how you move, because of the things that you do is not like everybody else. You weren't meant to be everybody else. And whatever they have a problem with, they can just have a problem with it. But do not allow it to create a belief system within yourself about how you feel about yourself, about the things that you're doing and saying. There's nothing wrong with it. You just need to go find people who get it. But you'll end up having a lot of people who won't get it, who will try to attack you, who will try to bring you down, who will try to bring you to a level that you should not be going to, that's going to distract you from your life purpose. And they're not worth your time or space giving that energy to them. They will forever be in mediocrity. They will forever be the low vibrational person they are. That's just who they are. So if you keep having the same kinds of occurrences, one, don't allow it to change the belief system about yourself. But two, God will allow it to happen so that you can get tough skin and ignore those ignorant people who do not understand His calling on your life. He knows that there's going to be a lot of ignorant people who have a lot of opinions and a lot of comments and a lot of belief systems that are going to be in complete contradiction with what God has for you. And He is not for the general public. And what I mean is, He is open and loving to everybody. But the calling that He has on your life, it's not for everybody. And there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be against it, a lot of people who are not going to understand it, a lot of people who are going to not understand you, who are not going to like you. It's not for you are not for the general public. You are not a show monkey. You are not here to make everybody feel good about themselves. You are not here to be liked by everybody. As a matter of fact, the more that you are a higher version of yourself, the less people like you. The less people like you. They just want low vibrational people around them that makes them feel better about themselves. They don't want to put the hard work in. They want to be lazy. They want to make excuses. And then on top of it, they want to make you feel like as if there's something wrong with you.